Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jae Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are thrilled to have Francisco Israel, co-founder of 8020Recruit. Francisco brings an impressive background as an industrial engineer from Chile with 19 years of experience and a passion for transforming how US and Canadian companies hire top talent from Latin America. Based in Miami, Florida, 8020Recruit, founded in 2024, is revolutionizing recruitment by connecting businesses in real estate, marketing, and tech with cost-effective, pre-vetted Latin American talent. We'll be exploring his founding story, how his business empowers clients to save time and costs, and his vision for scaling this impact-driven venture. So let's dive right in. Francisco, welcome to Founders Future.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Lots of passion here about podcasting sales.
I love it. Pleasure to have you on the show today, Francisco. Let's start at the very top. Take us back to the beginning for our listeners. What specific problem in the recruitment landscape really inspired you to start 8020Recruit?
Okay, so there were a couple. I also own a digital marketing agency. And as an owner, we used to be small, then big, then small. So I also, every now and then, I had to pay for recruiting services. And man, they sucked. It's like I hated them. And after a few failures, I went, you know what? If I have the time, I might just launch my own recruiting agency. And the time came when I was like in between companies.
Yeah.
And my very close friend, Jesus, the owner of 8020REI, called me and said, hey man, there's a big demand for Latin American profiles so they can be remote employees. I think I can have many of the clients. You need to lead this up. And I jump into the opportunity because of what I said before. And the one thing that I like a lot is that I really think that we can impact a lot of families in Latin America, finding them great remote jobs, and of course, impact North American companies as well, because everyone wins here.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So with that, I know that you guys started in 2024. So how has 8020's offer evolved since you started? So from what you're providing, like the talent sourcing, screening, consulting, and who you serve, how has that changed over time?
Okay, we've seen that if you have a specific focus, things are better because there are more scaling economies, meaning that at first we were really open to find whatever kind of positions or industries, but then we saw that the more we focused, the more efficiencies that we have, because we looked for the same positions for the same kind of clients, and we had to do less of different non-scalable work. So in these days, we're focusing on middle-sized positions like cold callers, lead managers, maybe acquisitions managers, dispositions managers, executive assistants, stuff like that. So middle-sized positions for middle-sized real estate companies mostly.
Sure. Incredible on that front. I would love to hear from your perspective, Francisco, as far as a misconception that you often hear about the recruitment industry as a whole, especially around hiring from Latin America or its scalability as a business. What's something on that front that you can address for us?
You mean something like that I have found that no one knows as much?
Essentially, yeah, something that people are misconceived about in that space.
Okay, I got one. So depending on the position, but I see that many positions, especially in sales, like SDRs, appointment setters, cold callers, I see that a lot of people are looking for really industry specific, and it's not maybe that necessary. So that's one thing. You don't have to have that much of industry experience in order to do well in middle to low end positions. So you could do well with just sales experience, appointment setting experience, stuff like that. That's one thing. Second thing is that accent, I think very close to American accent, is a little bit overrated because the world being as global as it is now, anyone could be talking to you from anywhere to anywhere. So it, you think that you would rather have someone speaking American English to you, but then that Latino or Indian could be in Florida talking to you and not necessarily in, I don't know, Bangladesh. So I think, and accent is overrated and skills is underrated. Underrated. So skills and talent.
Absolutely. I love that take on that front. So let's get into a bit of the nuts and bolts of 8020 Recruit, especially for our listeners who could end up utilizing your services for their business. So talk to us about how you're generating revenue today as far as the core offer. I know you have the flat fee entry level hires, the percentage based, the mid-level placements. How are those offers structured for your clients when they come to you?
Okay, so another thing that I hated when I wasn't in the industry, when I owned a digital marketing agency, is that recruiting companies would charge a percentage of the, let's say, annual or something like monthly salary. And I think that doesn't align the incentives because it makes the recruiter want your candidate to charge more, even if they maybe are not worth that much. So they're not on your side. They're wanting to charge more and maybe inflate a little bit the prices. So I hated that. So what we did is that we have flat fees within ranges. So if they go a little bit up or a little bit low, we had flat fees of, let's say, $1,500 for this and this positions, $2,500 for these others, and like that. So we don't inflate positions like that.
Gotcha. Definitely makes sense on that front. So that's the full focus there is being able to have that recruiting arm and put in top tier talent with respectable price points that you can bring to your clients on that front. So as far as what you're seeing on an acquisition front, Francisco, what's working best for you to bring in new clients consistently, whether it be referrals, ads, social media, organic outreach? What's working best for you guys right now?
Okay, I got a couple secrets for you here. So
Yeah.
first one is not a secret. So when my very close friend and co-founder Jesus Toledo and Felipe Bosans, the owners of 8020 REI, they co-own a couple other companies that serve the real estate environment companies. When they called me, they told me we have a lot of clients that we can refer. And that was true. So the first, I don't know, 60-70% of the clients came out of that partnership because they co-own the company and they don't even use all the prospects that they send us because of segmentation reasons. But so the first 60%, 70% of clients that they were sent, then we got a lot of referrals and then we got a lot of rebuys. And then the second thing that has been quite shocking for me that worked really well is being part of a mastermind group, a big mastermind group in Florida. So a lot of referrals come actually it's indirect because our other company belongs there and we got referred from our big sister company from there. So a lot of people came because of that. Moving forward, we're looking to do more of old school networking like that, if you will, in person or in person. And the other thing that we're doing is that we launched our own podcast. It's called 8020 Recruit Podcast. You can listen to it. But we also kill a few birds with one stone. What we do is that we invite prospects that can have experience to not only produce content like this, but that in that very interview they know about us so that we can maybe partner up, maybe not, but anyway, it's a good networking event.
Absolutely. Incredible. And obviously, I've had so many guests on the show that see a lot of success with that referral space inside of things. But the one thing that they do mention to me is that it's obviously unpredictable. So how do you look at that side of having more of a predictable lead flow? Are you doing anything around ads, or is that not something that you've dealt with at all? How are you approaching that side of things with predictability?
Predictability is a bitch, huh?
Yes.
But we have I want to say like an average, if you will, that people come from our big sister company,
Yep.
plus the podcast, plus especially our own referrals. We were toying with a little bit more than toying with paid search ads. And coming from marketing, I want to say that it was embarrassing how bad we did.
Yeah.
We hired another agency. We did very bad in paid search. And then we did paid reach out. We did bad again, really bad. Again, it was embarrassing. And we're testing stuff. I think the next step is where I think we want to go in paid social media, let's say Meta, maybe even YouTube. We think that could work well, but a little bit slower, but more steadily. That I want to invite you to my podcast is also working on building relationships as well.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And yeah, just continuing to grow the brand through the mastermind and the podcast, and absolutely will continue to bring more. And as you mentioned, still exploring those opportunities with the ads will just continue to bolster what you guys are doing. So, Francisco, talk to us a bit here and paint us a picture of what does the sales process look like? Are you running the show on your own? I know you have multiple businesses. Do you have a sales team right now with 8020 bringing in more clients for you? Do you have a marketing team? What does that look like on the outside looking in?
Yeah, my focus is today, if not 100%, 90% in 80/20.
Mhm.
So we do have a team. We're about 5 people. I run everything in marketing and sales. If I'm not there, we have a co-owner, my COO. He's Manning Sosa Manuel. He's a rock star operations manager, and he's been doing acquisition, talent acquisition, and stuff like that for a while now, especially in real estate. But where I'm going is that he can buck me up when my calendar is filled, which sometimes it is. But mostly 80% of the sales calls, I take them still, and I'll be doing that for a while happily because I love it. Marketing as well, even though some experiences have been a little embarrassing, but some others not. And I get my hands in the dirt with operations as well. Being a founder, you have to do that. And every now and then I take interviews and talk to clients. So we're about 5 people with a few freelancers here and there that do some design and stuff like that. But we have a bunch of recruiters, operations, and me.
Amazing. Absolutely incredible. And just the passion and the drive you have to continue to wear multiple hats and grow the company and scale. Just a pleasure having you on the show so far, just really talking through how your mind is working. Francisco, what do you feel with everything that you're going through right now? What do you feel is the biggest bottleneck to growth for 8020 at the moment, whether that be lead generation or converting those leads into clients or delivering services with your current capacity on the fulfillment side? What can you point to on that front?
I think there's a couple I want to say on the front end being sales and marketing. So the sales that we're getting are good. Like I said, predictability is a bitch in this way. So yes, I think that is a bottleneck hopefully to be unlocked after a few trials, maybe with paid media, with paid social. And then on the back end, I also think that there are a few bottlenecks being that you every now and then you get distracted or a friend asks you for a big ticket thing that is not within your specialty and you go, should I take it? Should I not take it? Is it my time to open up or is it not? So the knowing when to look to other verticals is a big question. Like I don't know when is the correct time to do it or not, or stop focusing. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's tough to say no. And that's the big factor there is knowing where your strength lies. But obviously, with the way that you're thinking and working towards solving those issues and continuing to grow and scale, it's clear as day you're going to continue to see success. So, walk us through here, Francisco, of what you're really focused on for your top priorities for growing 8020 Recruit over the next 6 to 12 months, whether that be any specific revenue targets, any specific impact goals. What are you really laser focused on over the next year here?
Yeah, we want to be recognized as the only real estate recruitment company. Actually, there isn't one that is only specialized in real estate and that can do our 80/20, our 80% of our positions are cold callers, lead managers, executive assistants. And then another 20 is others like that are around more less common, like acquisitions manager or others, right? So we want to be recognized as the ones that can get you those specific profiles fast and proficiently without failure, and just do that really well, at least for, like you said, 6 to 12 months. Then we'll see, because I'm sure that we're going to get scaling economies if you really specialize and be really good at those.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So if we could get a little hypothetical here, Francisco, and bring a genie into the room and snap our fingers, you now have access to unlimited resources, Francisco. What are you implementing immediately for 8020's growth?
Ah, man, the genie question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would definitely do more marketing, but still I would do lean testing. Like I wouldn't throw a ton of spaghetti towards the wall. I would still be lean in throwing some spaghetti into the wall, but really be able to find that marketing channel that can give us the predictability. So that's one. And the second one is do the same, but in operations. Be lean do the work. Just having all my SOPs that can make the work really repeatable and scalable. So working that's what I would do. And when we hit gold, then yeah, I would invest heavily. Yeah, that's what I would do with the GD money.
I love it. I love it. Last question for you before we get into the lightning round to close out the show. And that's going to be as far as what you see the evolution of the recruitment industry in the coming years. How do you see that? And what are you doing to position 8020 Recruit ahead of that evolution that you're picturing?
So there's a few ways to this question. So one way, of course, is tech and AI. So one way is using tech and AI to do whatever the recruitment world has been doing well for a while. If you're going to do sourcing, then interviewing, then doing reports, and then talking to clients, doing all more efficiently with AI is one thing, of course. And I want to say that not all recruitment companies are doing all that with AI, and they could and they should. So that's one way. But that's the bread and butter way. Like you should do that. You must do that. That's one. But the second one that I see that could really change the game here, and I don't know where I stand here, is that many of the positions that we allocate here may be replaced by AI. They're going to be replaced anytime. I don't know if that's going to be next year or the next 5 years. Like the people calling you on the phone to realize if you're a motivated seller are not humans in a 98% of a chance. They're going to be replaced. So when that happens, will we be finding you the operators of that technology, or will we be selling that technology? I don't know. I don't know where I stand there yet.
Gotcha. Gotcha. It definitely makes sense on that front. But as it continues to evolve and scale, you'll be able to continue to position yourself on the forefront of that. So I want to take us into a bit of a lightning round before we close out the show here. And again, just incredible having you here, really talking through what you're doing and seeing how passionate and motivated you are for the space that you're in. It's such a pleasure to have you on the show, Francisco. So walk us through here about one tool or a resource that you're using right now, whether it's an optimization strategy from your engineering background, a recruitment tactic, an AI tool, but what's just been a game changer for 8020 Recruit this far?
For me, and in my sales and some, let's say, so interviewing. So using Fathom, the note taker,
Yes.
is a total game changer. Like now that we're on the Zoom and my Fathom is not here, I feel like I'm naked, right? Like I hate not having my Fathom. I need to have my Fathom in my meeting. So I think that's the first and most important game changer for now.
I love it. And then just last question for you here, Francisco, to wrap up the show. And that's just going to be for our listeners. I mean, you have such an extensive background. You have so much passion for what you do. what kind of advice can you offer to our listeners right now, other founders, entrepreneurs who are either just starting out in business or in the middle of it and want to have that drive and see that success that you're seeing? What can you offer them before you wrap up?
As an advice for, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, just what's some advice that you can give to our listeners right now who are in business, starting out, and want to have that success that you're seeing?
So I think that what changed my life in terms of professional, I don't know if the word is success, but what really changed was a game changer for me in a good way, feeling not as comfortable to really comfortable, is to listen to books. And I'm talking 12 years ago. So I've been working for 20 years, but the first 8 years were like just core, normal,
Yeah.
kind of frustrated work in sales and marketing, but like normal. But then I became an entrepreneur and I discovered self-education, especially I want to say 80% through listening to books when I'm going from here to there, when I'm going to the gym, when I'm taking a walk. It's like you have, and you don't know, you have 20 to 40 hours of availability to read or listen to books when you're just waiting in the dentist. And there's a lot of hours there. That is like 4 to 5 books a month. That is like 50 books a year. So I read something like 600 books in the last decade or something. And if you want to know something, an MBA is something like 35 books. So do the math.
Wow, just absolutely incredible. And obviously, to so many of our listeners, it's crucial to continue to up your knowledge and continue reading. So, very powerful on that front there. And with that right there, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Francisco, I just want to thank you again for coming on the show, sharing your incredible journey, sharing your insights with us. I know that you're going to continue to do incredible things in the space. So, truly grateful for having you on the show. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also check out 8020 Recruit at 8020recruit.com to learn more about their cost-effective hiring solutions. And follow Francisco on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Frismo. For more resources and insights, visit closers.io, where we're dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth through trained appointment setters and world-class marketing systems. Until then, keep climbing, and we'll see you on the next one.